Long ago, the galaxy thought Earth was finished. To the great empires, humanity was a failed race, a species that reached for the stars but fell short. Their colonies collapsed, their fleets disappeared, and their signals went silent. In time, the galaxy erased Earth from its maps. Records listed it as a dead world, its people gone. The rulers of the stars laughed when Earth's name was mentioned. The humans, they mocked. A weak race, a forgotten people. For centuries, Earth became nothing but a story told in council halls and taverns. Children of alien worlds grew up hearing tales of the primitive humans who once tried to join the galaxy, but vanished like dust in the wind. Admirals mocked them during speeches, emperors joked about them in their courts, and historians spoke of them as an example of failure. To all, Earth was gone, but the galaxy was wrong. In the darker corners of trade routes, whispers began to rise. Smugglers told of strange encounters. Convoys reported losing ships in empty space with no trace of pirates. Some said they saw shadows moving behind them, ships with no drive signatures, no warp trails, no energy scans, ships that appeared for only a moment then disappeared like ghosts. At first, no one believed the stories. Rumors spread easily in the galaxy, and most died quickly. But these rumors refused to die. A merchant caravan claimed that a fleet of raiders was destroyed in less than a minute by unknown vessels. Survivors swore they saw dark shapes tear through the raiders' ships without firing visible weapons. Another convoy reported being saved from slavers by mysterious craft that appeared suddenly and vanished without a trace. Ghost ships, they whispered. Ships from nowhere. The empires dismissed the rumors as nonsense. Yet unease began to grow. Reports increased. Military scouts vanished near unexplored regions. Mining colonies on distant moons went silent. Overnight, patrols discovered wreckage of enemy ships destroyed with precision no pirate could achieve. And through it all, one word began to return to the galaxy's lips, a word they had once erased. Earth. At first, leaders scoffed. Impossible, they said. Earth is gone. But when senators asked who else could build ships that move, without detection, no one had an answer. When admirals demanded to know what enemy could strike so silently, no scientist could explain. And so the laughter slowly faded. In the dominion of Vayar, a heated council took place. Admirals stood before rulers showing fragments of intercepted signals, strange bursts of energy short and sharp carrying no known frequency. The science ministers shook their heads. Random noise, they insisted, nothing of value. But the admirals disagreed. This is no noise, they argued. This is communication. Someone is speaking in the dark. Again, the council laughed. Perhaps it is the ghosts of your failures, one minister mocked. Another leaned forward, eyes glinting with cruelty. Or perhaps, he said, the humans have come back to haunt you. The chamber erupted in laughter. Yet behind their smiles, fear lurked. Because deep inside, they knew it was possible. Across the galaxy, fear spread quietly. The Kareth Confederacy lost a fleet of scouts. The Ilari Dominion reported that their colonies were being watched. The Zorath Collective admitted that their most advanced sensors had failed to detect unknown vessels moving right past them, and still, no empire could prove it was Earth. Still, no empire dared to say the words aloud. The humans have returned. Then came the first signal. It struck without warning, spreading across every major channel at once. No origin, no source, no trace, just a voice, calm, cold, human. We are not gone. The galaxy froze. Armies stopped drills. Politicians choked on their words. Traders dropped their goods. Every empire received the message at the same time, and every empire trembled. Because if Earth was alive, if Earth was strong, then the balance of power was shattered. In the markets of the core, silence replaced laughter. Merchants whispered in fear. Was it true? Had the forgotten world returned? Could the humans truly walk in the shadows of the galaxy, unseen, unstoppable? On military stations, admirals stared at the message replaying across their screens. 3 words, simple, final. "We are not gone." The words carried no threat, but every commander heard one. The words promised no war, but every ruler knew war was coming. For centuries, Earth had been a forgotten world erased from history. But now the galaxy understood one truth. Earth was never gone. Earth was waiting. And now, Earth had returned. The message, 3 words, "We are not gone," still echoed in every corner of the galaxy. Though no one could trace it, though no one could explain it, every empire heard it. And after that day, the galaxy began to change. At first, no fleets moved. No wars began. No empires made bold declarations. Instead, something else spread faster than armies. Whispers. Quiet stories told in markets and spaceports and taverns where smugglers drank cheap fuel wine. Whispers that carried the same chilling theme. Humanity had returned. Merchants claimed to have seen them first. One convoy returning from the rim swore that ships appeared out of nothing, sleek black vessels that had no thruster burn, no warp trail, no engine sound. They appeared, hovered silently, and then vanished like smoke in the wind. Pirates who chased them never returned. Slavers who tried to capture them were reduced to wreckage in minutes. No one could prove the sightings, but the stories were too many to be ignored. Phantoms, the traders called them. Ghosts of Earth. The empire scoffed at the words. In their courts, they called it nonsense. In their councils, they dismissed it as fear-mongering. But inside their private war rooms, their admirals studied the reports with grim faces. Because the more they searched, the more evidence they found. Entire patrols vanished without a trace. Colonies fell silent overnight. No distress calls, no explosions, only silence. Wreckage of fleets was discovered, destroyed with precision, yet no signatures of known weapons were detected. In the Ilari Dominion, the Minister of War slammed his claws against the council table. "This cannot be coincidence," he growled. "Something is moving in the dark, something with power we do not understand." The room fell silent, but then another minister sneered. "You sound afraid of shadows. Perhaps you believe the humans crawl out of their graves?" The chamber erupted in cruel laughter, but that laughter did not last long, because soon the shadows came closer. On the mining colony of Vetran 4, workers reported strange lights in the sky. Not bright like plasma fire, not slow like merchant engines. These lights blinked in and out, appearing above the horizon before vanishing again. Days later, the colony was found abandoned. No damage, no bodies. Only empty streets and silent machines. The workers were simply gone. Across the Zorath Collective, entire scout wings were lost. The survivors who returned whispered of ships moving like predators. "They appeared behind us," one officer said, trembling. "We fired everything we had. But they vanished, only to strike again from another angle. We never saw them coming." His testimony was silenced, labeled as madness, but other soldiers told the same story. The whispers grew louder. In the core markets, smugglers sold fragments of human technology, pieces of dark alloy unlike any known metal, weapons that hummed with silent energy. No one knew how these relics reached the markets. Some said they were stolen from human wrecks. Others claimed the humans allowed them to be found, like bait, like a warning. By now, even the arrogant empires began to suspect the truth. Earth was not gone. Humanity had not been erased. They had survived in silence, watching, building, waiting. But the question haunted every leader. Why return now? Some believed the humans sought revenge for centuries of mockery. Others thought Earth wanted to carve an empire of its own. A few dared to whisper something even darker, that humanity had never truly been weak, that their collapse had only been a mask, a trick to hide their growth. Then came the first confirmed sighting. A Zorath battlecruiser patrolling the rim recorded an event that shook the galaxy. The cruiser drifted near an asteroid field when its sensors detected movement. Before the captain could react, a human ship appeared on their flank. Sleek, black, silent. The alien crew froze, staring at it through the glass of their command deck. No weapons fired, no signals were sent. The ship lingered for 30 seconds, watching them. Then in the blink of an eye it vanished into nothing. The recording was undeniable. The footage spread across the galaxy in hours. The Zorath tried to suppress it, but the more they hid, the more it spread. The image of a human vessel, real, solid, alive, was burned into every mind. The whispers became truth. Fear infected even the bravest. Fleets doubled their patrols. Colonies demanded more protection. But no matter how many ships the empires sent, the humans were never found. They appeared only when they wished, where they wished, and always left before a shot could land. For the first time in centuries, the galaxy's rulers realized they were not the hunters. They were the prey. And in the silence between stars, in the shadows of forgotten systems, humanity watched. Humanity waited. Humanity prepared. The whispers were true. Earth was back. And soon, the galaxy would understand what unstoppable truly meant. The whispers had spread too far. The message, "We are not gone," was still fresh in every mind, and sightings of phantom ships were becoming harder to deny. The galaxy could not ignore it anymore. So one empire decided to test the truth. The Mayer, Dominion of Vaer, assembled a mighty fleet. 100 warships bristling with weapons, proud banners flying across their hulls. To them, humans were still only a rumor, a shadow, a ghost. And ghosts, they believed, could be destroyed with firepower. Their commanders laughed as they prepared for battle. "If the humans have returned," one admiral sneered, "then we will send them back into extinction." The fleet traveled to the outer rim, to a quiet sector where strange signals had been reported. For 3 days their scanners found nothing. Empty skies, silent stars. The admirals mocked their soldiers for being afraid of shadows. But on the 4th day, everything changed. The first human ship appeared without warning. No warp trail, no energy signature. One moment the void was empty, and the next, a black vessel hovered in the distance. Its design was unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen, smooth, sharp, and silent, its surface absorbing starlight as if it belonged to the darkness itself. The Vaeri fleet roared with laughter. "One ship?" their commanders jeered. "One tiny vessel?" They ordered their fleet to advance, to destroy the intruder. But before their weapons could fire, another ship appeared. Then another. Then 10. Then 20. Until finally, the void was filled with human warships, an entire fleet that had materialized out of nowhere. The laughter stopped. For a moment, the galaxy held its breath. The two fleets faced each other in silence, hundreds of warships staring across the void. Then the Vaeri commander gave the order, "Fire." The sky lit up with energy blasts. Plasma fire, missiles, beams of raw power, all hurled at the humans. But when the light cleared, there was nothing. The human fleet was gone, vanished, not destroyed, simply absent. Panic rippled through the Vaeri ranks. "Where are they?" shouted one captain. Sensors scrambled, alarms blared. Then, without warning, the human ships reappeared behind the Vaeri fleet. Their weapons struck with perfect precision. Invisible beams cut through shields as if they were paper. Massive battleships cracked in half, split apart with surgical strikes. The Vaeri tried to turn, but the humans vanished again, blinking across the field like shadows. Each time they returned, another warship was destroyed. The void became a graveyard of burning wrecks. Soldiers screamed over comms, begging for orders, but their admirals had no answers. The battle was not a battle. It was a hunt. And the humans were the hunters. Within minutes, 30 Vaeri ships were gone. Then 50. Then 70. The survivors tried to flee, engines blazing, but the humans were faster. They appeared ahead of the retreating ships, blocking every escape path. One by one, the mighty fleet fell. Only a handful survived, damaged, broken, crawling back to their empire with horror etched into their faces. And the stories they carried would shake the galaxy. They spoke of human weapons that tore through metal without fire or sound, of ships that blinked in and out of existence, striking from impossible angles. of a fleet that seemed to own the battlefield itself. But the detail that haunted them most was the silence. The humans never spoke during the battle. No threats. No laughter. No words at all. Only silence and death. When the survivors returned, the galaxy listened. The reports spread faster than light. 100 warships had been annihilated by a fleet that appeared from nowhere. The Dominion of Vayar, proud and arrogant, was humiliated. Their people trembled, their rivals whispered, and their enemies laughed. Not at Earth, but at them. The galaxy finally understood. Humanity had not only returned, they had returned unstoppable. From that day forward, fear replaced mockery. Fleets doubled their defenses, colonies hid behind stronger shields, and in the council halls of the great empires, leaders whispered to each other with pale faces, "If this was only the beginning, what happens when Earth brings its full strength?" The return of Earth's fleet was not just a battle, it was a message. A warning carved in fire and silence. Earth was not gone, Earth was back, and the galaxy could no longer stop them. The ruins of the Vayari fleet drifted across the stars like silent graves. 100 ships destroyed, their burning wreckage marking the battlefield where humanity had returned. The survivors told their story, their voices trembling, and the galaxy listened. No one laughed this time. No one dared. But even after such destruction, the humans remained silent. They did not send demands. They did not boast. They simply vanished, again leaving only fear behind. And it was this silence that frightened the galaxy more than the battle itself. Because silence meant control. Silence meant the humans had a plan. In the core, the Council of Nine Suns gathered. Their hall was built like a fortress, guarded by fleets larger than entire civilizations. It was the safest place in the galaxy, or so they believed. Leaders of empires shouted over one another. Some demanded war, others begged for peace. But all of them agreed on one thing. Humanity was no longer a ghost story. Humanity was real. Humanity was dangerous. Then, in the middle of their arguments, the lights flickered. The vast windows of the chamber revealed the void outside. And there it was. A single ship, a human vessel, black and sharp, hovering silently beyond the glass. No alarms had sounded. No sensors had warned them. The defenses of the greatest fortress in the galaxy had been bypassed as if they didn't exist. The chamber froze. Guards drew weapons, leaders gasped, alarms screamed. But before panic could take over, a voice filled the hall. Calm, cold, human. We are here. The words echoed through every speaker, every comm, every translator. The same words from before, but this time they were more than a message. This time the humans were looking directly at the rulers of the galaxy. You thought us gone, the voice said. You called us weak. You erased our name from your maps. You told your children that Earth was dead. You laughed. The leaders sat pale and trembling. No one dared interrupt. But we are not gone. We are not weak. We are not your joke. The voice was steady, not loud, not shouting, but every word felt like thunder. For centuries we watched. For centuries we endured. While you fought your wars, while you built your empires, we prepared. We mastered the void itself. We move where you cannot see. We strike where you cannot defend. We are everywhere. And now, we are back. A Zorth general tried to speak, his voice shaking. What do you want? The human voice answered with silence for a long, heavy moment. Then it spoke again. We want you to remember. The rulers leaned forward, confused, afraid. Remember that Earth is not yours to mock. Remember that humanity does not bow. Remember that the galaxy is not only yours to command. You believed we were gone, but now you will see us in your skies. You will see us in your wars. You will see us in your dreams. Wherever you go, you will find us. The chamber was silent. The leaders sat frozen, unable to respond. Then the voice spoke one last time. We do not seek to conquer, but if you bring war to us, the galaxy will burn before Earth bows. The human ship lingered for only a moment longer, then it vanished, disappearing into nothing, leaving only the echo of its words behind. The chamber erupted in chaos. Some rulers shouted for war, desperate to protect their pride. Others demanded treaties, fearing humanity's wrath. But all of them understood one truth. The balance of power was broken. For the first time in centuries, the galaxy was no longer laughing. For the first time, the galaxy listened to Earth's voice, and for the first time, they realized the humans had not returned as victims, they had returned as a storm. The galaxy was never the same after the Council of Nine Suns heard Earth's voice. Those words, calm, steady, final, spread faster than light. Fleets replayed them in silence. Colonies whispered them like prayers. Citizens repeated them with fear in their hearts. We are not gone. We are not weak. We are not your joke. For centuries, Earth had been a forgotten world, erased from maps, mocked in songs, turned into a warning tale for children. But now Earth was not a memory. Earth was a presence, everywhere and nowhere at once. The empires could not laugh anymore. They could only prepare. The dominion of Vayar, humiliated by the destruction of its fleet, swore vengeance. Its rulers promised that they would bring humanity to its knees. But their soldiers remembered the truth. They remembered watching human ships vanish like shadows, reappear behind them and cut them down with precision. And fear began to rot their courage from within. The Kareth Confederacy chose a different path. They sent secret envoys, desperate, to beg for peace. They offered riches, technology, alliances, but their envoys never returned. Some believed humanity destroyed them. Others whispered that humanity accepted their gifts but gave no reply, as if Earth was testing the galaxy's loyalty in silence. The Zorath Collective, once proud and mighty, now lay broken. Their fleets shattered, their pride gone, they cowered, in their borders. The survivors of the massacre told their stories in whispers, their voices trembling. They did not fight like us, they said. They did not fight like anyone, they hunted us. They moved through space as if it belonged to them, and worst of all, they never spoke. That silence haunted them more than the weapons, and all, across the stars, the galaxy began to realize a truth they had ignored for too long. Humanity had not collapsed. Humanity had not died. Humanity had hidden. Humanity had evolved. From the shadows of their forgotten world, humans had built fleets that broke every law of physics. They had mastered the void, bending it, stepping through it, moving across it as though distance itself meant nothing. The galaxy's proudest fleets, built with centuries of arrogance, were no more than toys against them. But the most terrifying part was not their ships, not their weapons, not their silence. The most terrifying part was that Earth did not conquer. Earth did not seize worlds. Earth did not demand surrender. Instead, they simply appeared, destroyed what they wished, and disappeared again. The galaxy could not understand. Conquerors shouted their victories. Tyrants raised their flags. But humans did neither. They returned not with laughter or pride, but with silence and control. It was not the return of an empire. It was the return of a shadow. And slowly the galaxy began to change. In alien marketplaces, children no longer mocked Earth. Instead, they whispered its name in fear. In the war councils of mighty empires, generals planned not how to defeat humanity, but how to survive if humanity chose to strike. In the quiet chambers of rulers, leaders trembled in secret, wondering when the humans would appear in their skies. It was no longer the age of the empires. It was no longer the age of laughter. It was the age of waiting, the age of silence, the age of humanity, because now the galaxy knew. There was no fortress they could build that the humans could not enter. No weapon they could forge that the humans could not shatter. No alliance strong enough to resist them. Humanity was not unstoppable because of their weapons. Humanity was unstoppable because they had endured what no other species had endured. Their death world had forged them into steel. Their history of war, struggle, and survival had shaped them into predators among prey, and so the galaxy held its breath. Every empire, every fleet, every colony lived under the shadow of Earth. Some prayed humanity would ignore them. Others prayed humanity would protect them. But none could deny the truth. The forgotten world had risen. The joke had become the storm. And somewhere in the silence between the stars, a human voice whispered once more into the void. We are here. This time, no empire laughed. This time, no empire mocked. This time the galaxy bowed its head. The age of humanity had begun.